gypsies, tramps, and thieves. A tramp in theater means something else, like Charlie Chaplin was a tramp. There's a lead role in this piece. It's not going to Maddie because she's not here today.
I will explain the gossip. Never miss this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Whether it's JoJo Siwa bursting onto the scene with rhinestones and one-liners, or Kalani Hilliker walking in with elegance and elite training, a new arrival at ALDC is never quiet. Abby doesn't do subtle when she's unveiling her next prodigy. She'll hype them up, praise their technique, and throw in just enough shade at the existing team to make sure the drama is baked in. The moms? Immediately triggered. The girls? Nervous, jealous, or both. And Abby? She's already picturing gold medals and solo spotlights. Classic Abby behavior. From the second a new dancer walks through the doors, the existing team sees red. Abby makes it worse by letting the new girl skip the proving period. She gets choreography, maybe even a featured role in the group number, before the others have time to blink. Like when JoJo arrived and got a solo right away, or when Brynn was introduced and Abby dared to call her the next Maddie. That phrase alone? Enough to send Melissa into a silent panic and the other moms into a rage spiral. Because at ALDC, you're either the star or you're being replaced by one. One of the juiciest parts of any new dancer's arrival? Their very first dance under Abby's choreography. It's a high-pressure performance that either cements their place at the studio or sends them home in a firestorm of mom tears and brutal critiques. JoJo's Electricity solo? Iconic. Chaotic, unforgettable. Kalani's first lyrical piece? Pure elegance that instantly raised the bar. Brynn's calm under pressure? Enough to impress Abby and freak out Ashley's rivals. Every time a new dancer nails her debut, the team gets that much closer to a full-on implosion. The moment Abby starts giving the new girl special treatment, the moms go feral. There's always a ringleader, Christy, Kira, Jesselyn, or Holly, who decides this new addition is a direct threat to her daughter's place on the team. Cue the sabotage attempts, whispered critiques, and just being honest comments in the viewing room. And don't forget the ultimate insult. She doesn't even go here. Translation? She hasn't earned it, and she's not part of our ALDC family. Abby, of course, lives for this chaos. It's how she separates the weak from the winners. When a new dancer arrives, everyone wants to know one thing. Will she dethrone the star? The show's most explosive arcs come when a shiny new dancer is suddenly getting more solos than the original team members. That happened with JoJo, Brynn, Kalani, even Missy. And it never sat well with girls like Kendall, Nia, or Mackenzie. The tension gets especially nuclear when the moms start pushing comparisons. She's better than Maddie. She's the new Chloe. She's getting more attention than Kendall ever did. Once those statements start flying, there's no going back. You can't talk about a shiny new star without mentioning their signature quotes. Because let's be real, some of the best Dance Moms soundbites come from girls who've been there less than a week. Think, I don't want to fit in. I want to stand out. JoJo, I'm not trying to replace anyone, but I'm ready to win. Kalani, I'm here to dance, not to make friends. Brynn. These quotes burn into Dance Moms history the second they're aired. And if the other moms weren't already plotting the newcomer's downfall, they are now. Not every shiny new star stayed shiny. Some came in hot and fizzled out by the next episode. Others fought tooth and nail for their spot, and won it. Ariva Coda, beautiful lines, but Abby dismissed her in seconds. Sarah Reasons, sweet but caught in the crossfire of major mom drama. Adamson's too polished, not enough edge for Abby. Kalani became a top-tier member, Abby's favorite and fan darling. JoJo, her brand outshone the studio. Left on her terms, bow in hand. Brynn, always under pressure, but proved her worth time and time again. The real question every time a new dancer arrives is this: is Abby genuinely investing in new talent, or is she just using the new girl to shake up the team? Sometimes it's both. And no matter how talented the newcomer is, no one is safe from Abby's unpredictable wrath. Today's golden girl is tomorrow's disappointment. She'll hype them up, promise the world, and then one bad performance, and they're getting screamed at or sent home. It's Abby's game, and the rules change every week. When a shiny new star arrives at ALDC, it's not just a new chapter. It's a new battlefield. The dance floor becomes a war zone. The moms arm themselves with opinions, and Abby plays queenmaker or executioner. In the world of dance moms, few things are more dangerous than Abby Lee Miller whispering, "She's not ready." Those 3 words might sound like a critique, but make no mistake, they're a declaration of war. When Abby drops this bomb, it's more than just tough love. It's a warning to the dancer, a message to the moms, and a signal to the rest of the team. A storm is coming. From early seasons to the final curtain call, Abby's seed of doubt has been her most powerful tool and her most destructive. Whether she's tearing down a girl she once praised, using fear to motivate, or pitting dancers against each other in twisted mind games, Abby knows exactly what she's doing. And the fallout? Always explosive. This flashback compilation dives deep into the biggest "she's not ready" moments in LDC history, where careers were questioned, loyalties tested, and moms lost IT in the viewing room. Buckle up, because this is 9,000 words of ego bruises, emotional sabotage, and dancers fighting like hell to prove they are ready. Let's kick things off with the original heartbreak arc, Chloe Lukaszak. One of the most graceful and emotionally expressive dancers in the ALDC lineup, Chloe had the talent, but Abby never let her forget she wasn't Maddie. She's not ready to be the star. She'd say it to the camera, to the moms, and even in front of Chloe herself. It was psychological warfare. No matter how high Chloe scored or how well she performed, Abby always found something to nitpick. It wasn't just about dance. It was about identity. Abby wanted Maddie, clean, reliable, obedient. And when Chloe didn't fit that mold, the seed of doubt grew fast. The damage showed week after week. Chloe's confidence wavered. Her mom, Christy, fumed. And the rest of the girls learned a painful lesson. Abby could build you up or tear you down in a single breath. By season 5, the ALDC was no stranger to dramatic entrances, but nothing shook the studio like JoJo Siwa. She arrived with bows, bedazzled boots, and more attitude than Abby had ever seen in a kid. Right away, Abby made it clear. She's not ready to be a serious dancer. Translation? I'm not giving her a real chance. Abby dismissed JoJo as a YouTube novelty, a loudmouth in lipstick. She accused her of being all show, no substance. But JoJo? She knew how to spin the criticism. She took Abby's shade and turned it into sparkle. And when JoJo did get a solo, Abby doubled down with the doubt. She's not ready to win. Even when JoJo beat veterans and proved herself on stage, Abby stayed icy, because admitting JoJo was ready would mean admitting she was wrong. The tension reached a boiling point when JoJo missed a rehearsal, and Abby screamed in the viewing room that she was unreliable. Cue Jesselyn storming in. Cue the tears. Cue JoJo fighting to earn respect while the moms muttered, "She's not like the others." This arc? Legendary. Let's talk about one of the most controversial additions to the team, Bryn Rumfallow. Poised. Talented. Terrified. When she joined the ALDC, the entire viewing room turned on her instantly, and Abby didn't help. Bryn's not ready to carry the team. She's not Maddie. There it is again, the Maddie comparison. Abby had a new favorite in the making, but she couldn't resist dangling that title just out of reach. Every time Bryn got a solo, Abby made it sound like a test. A trap. Prove you're worthy or else. And the moms? Ruthless. Jill, Kira, Holly. They all questioned Bryn's presence. She's only here because Maddie's gone. She didn't earn her spot. She's not strong enough to lead. Abby watched it unfold like a puppet master. One of the most brutal moments came when Abby assigned a high-stakes solo to Bryn and muttered, "She's not ready, but we'll see." Even as Bryn delivered flawless performances, the whisper campaign never stopped. The lesson? When Abby plants the seed of doubt, the whole garden turns toxic. Kendall. The girl who was always almost Abby's favorite, and always just short of being ready. Throughout season 3 and 4, Abby made a sport out of emotionally gutting her. One week she'd praise Kendall's musicality, the next she'd tear her down. She's not ready to handle the pressure. This peaked when Kendall finally landed a dramatic lyrical solo, a huge opportunity. Jill was thrilled. Kendall was glowing. And then Abby dropped the hammer. She's not mentally strong enough. The anxiety crushed Kendall. The rehearsal footage showed her second-guessing every step. When the performance came, Kendall danced well, but it wasn't enough for Abby. She needs to grow up. She doesn't want it enough. Jill exploded in defense of her daughter, but Abby stood firm. Once the seed is planted, nothing you say will make it go away. Now this one is chilling, because when Kalani Hilliker joined the team, Abby flipped the script. Instead of saying she wasn't ready, she said she was. Over and over. She's ready to be the next big thing. She's ready to lead this team. But here's the twist. Abby used Kalani's readiness as a weapon. By propping her up, she created a wall between Kalani and the other girls. The moms saw it. The dancers felt it. The pressure mounted fast. If Kalani stumbled even slightly, Abby was ready to turn, and when she did, she cut deep. One misstep, and suddenly it was. I thought she was ready. Maybe I was wrong. That's the dark side of Abby's doubt. It can disappear in an instant, and then come roaring back when you least expect it. Kalani kept her cool, but the damage was done. She had to constantly prove her worth to stay in Abby's good graces. That's not mentorship, that's manipulation. When Eliana Walmsley joined the elite team, she came in with poise and promise. But the ALDC environment chewed her up almost immediately. Abby looked at her, tiny, timid, terrified, and said, "She's not ready for the big leagues." It didn't matter that Eliana danced like a prodigy. Abby questioned her toughness, her stamina, her fight. One solo in particular, a dark, intense piece, sent Eliana into tears during rehearsal. Abby didn't comfort her. She told her mom, if she can't handle this, she's not ready to be a star. The pressure got so intense that Yolanda, Eliana's mom, turned into a megastage mom, which only made things worse. The stress led to sobbing rehearsals, screaming matches with the moms, and Abby questioning her every move. This was one of the clearest examples of planting doubt and then blaming the dancer for feeling it. It starts small. A comment here, a critique there. But then, a confidence dips. The moms panic. The group fractures. The performances suffer. Abby's "she's not ready" line is more than just a phrase. It's a strategy. She uses it to control, to test loyalty, and to keep the girls insecure enough to need her approval. It creates chaos and TV gold. But long-term, it scars. Some girls rise through it, JoJo. Some burn out, Chloe. And some stay stuck in a cycle of never feeling good enough, Kendall, Bryn, Eliana. In Abby Lee Miller's world, the goalpost is always moving. Ready isn't just about technical skill or winning trophies. It's about pleasing Abby, towing the line, and surviving emotional warfare. Even the best dancers were never truly ready in her eyes, because if they were, they wouldn't need her anymore. And that's the real twist. The seed of doubt doesn't just keep the girls in check. It keeps Abby in power. Let's go back to one of the most brutal early moments, Season 2, where Paige Hyland became Abby's favorite punching bag. After a rough rehearsal, Abby declared, "Paige, you're off the group number. I don't have time to babysit." Just like that, Paige was out. Not only did she lose her solo that week, she lost the chance to even dance at all. Christy and Holly were stunned. Kelly? Livid. Watching her daughter be publicly benched while the rest of the girls rehearsed was too much. But Abby loved that reaction. It proved she was in charge. And Paige? She cried in the hallway, humiliated, once again paying the price for her mother's outbursts and Abby's vendetta. This cut was one of the first moments fans realized Abby doesn't just cut dancers, she crushes them. One of the most talked about group number or nothing moments came when Kendall had a meltdown in rehearsal and Abby snapped. After criticizing Kendall's lack of focus, Abby exploded in front of the entire team. "You're not in the group number. In fact, you're lucky you're still here." Jill went into full damage control mode, trying to apologize and defend her daughter, but Abby wasn't having it. She made Kendall sit out and watch the other girls rehearse. No alternate choreography. No makeup. No costume. Nothing. Jill sobbed in the hallway. Kendall cried to the camera. And Abby? She just kept repeating. This is what happens when you don't listen. It wasn't about dance anymore. It was about control. And the message to the other girls? Stay in line or get cut. We all remember the time JoJo Siwa got sidelined from the group number, not because she messed up the choreo, but because she missed a rehearsal due to filming a video. Abby was furious. She accused JoJo of being unprofessional, unfocused, and not committed to the team. You can't show up when you want to and expect to dance in my number. Just like that, JoJo was cut. Jessalyn defended her daughter, saying the absence was pre-approved. But Abby didn't care. She wanted to make a point, and JoJo's bow wasn't big enough to shield her from that wrath. The moment JoJo realized she wouldn't be performing, she broke down in the dressing room. Her tears were real. The rejection hit hard. But in true JoJo fashion, she didn't stay down for long. She turned that heartbreak into fire and came back even stronger. One of the most subtle yet savage cuts happened to Nia Frazier. Abby didn't even say she was cut. She just didn't give her choreography. Everyone go to your places, except you, Nia. You're watching. No warning. No explanation. Holly was shaking in the viewing room. When she confronted Abby, Abby snapped. She needs to prove herself. This week, she's not part of the group. The worst part? Nia sat there, still in costume, watching her teammates perform. She smiled through the pain, clapped politely, and swallowed every ounce of humiliation. That moment became a fan-favorite example of Nia's strength, but also a clear example of how Abby used silence and exclusion as punishment. When the mini-team was brought into the mix, it didn't take long for Abby to start slicing them from group numbers like expired cheese. Eliana Walmsley was often targeted, and one week, after a rough rehearsal, Abby flat out told her, "You're not dancing. You can sit and learn from the older girls." Yolanda, Eliana's mom, was in shock. Her daughter was trying so hard to be taken seriously, and Abby iced her out completely. On the day of the performance, Eliana sat in full hair and makeup, sobbing quietly while the other girls danced on stage. It was one of the saddest cuts in Dance Mom's history. Fans still bring it up as one of the cruelest moments of Abby's reign. Kalani was rarely cut from group routines, but when it almost happened, it shook the entire team. One week, Abby accused her of phoning it in and threatened, "Maybe I should cut you from the group and give someone else a chance." Kalani stood there stunned. The other girls gasped. Kira, Kalani's mom, exploded. "You cut her, we're out for good." Abby backed down, but the damage was done. Kalani knew her place on the team was conditional. Even the best dancers weren't safe from Abby's scissors. This moment proved that no one is ever untouchable in Abby's world. You want chaos? Let's talk about the cut that caused a full-blown walkout. One week, Abby decided not one, but two girls were unworthy of the group number. She pulled Bryn and Missy right before the performance and said, "You're not ready. Sit down." Ashley, Bryn's mom, and Jamie, Missy's mom, snapped, screaming, crying, packing bags. They dragged their daughters out of the dressing room and stormed out of the competition. Abby didn't chase after them. She didn't even blink. That's what happens when you don't work hard enough. No warm-up. No warning. Just exile. This wasn't about dance. It was warfare. And the audience? Ate. Up. Let's be clear. These moments weren't just drama for the cameras. They were Abby's ultimate flex. A no solo? Ouch. A no duet? Brutal. A no group number? You don't exist this week. These cuts weren't about skill. They were about submission. You didn't just have to be good. You had to be obedient, quiet, loyal. And if Abby sensed rebellion, you were gone. Off the pyramid. Off the stage. Off the team. Group number or nothing wasn't just a catchphrase, it was Abby's nuclear option. It stripped girls of their spotlight. It shattered their confidence. It weaponized the thing they loved most, dancing, and used it against them. And the moms? They never forgot. A Kelly still talks about Paige's exile. A Jill still remembers Kendall sitting on the floor in tears. A Jessalyn will always call Abby out for humiliating JoJo. In the end, being cut from the group wasn't just about missing a dance. It was about losing your place on the team, in the spotlight, and in Abby's approval. And for these girls, that was the most devastating cut of all. Throughout the series, Christy was known for her unwavering support of her daughter, Chloe. However, the environment at the Abby Lee Dance Company, ALDC, often placed Chloe under immense pressure, with Abby's favoritism towards Maddie Ziegler being a recurring theme. This favoritism frequently left Chloe feeling overshadowed, despite her evident talent and dedication, Reddit. The tension reached its peak during a particularly heated exchange when Abby criticized Chloe's performance, undermining her efforts and confidence. Witnessing her daughter's distress, Christy could no longer remain silent. Her impassioned exclamation, "That's my daughter," was not just a defense. It was a mother's roar against perceived injustice. Christy's outburst resonated deeply with many viewers, who saw it as a raw and genuine expression of maternal love and frustration. Fans took to forums and social media to discuss the incident, with many expressing support for Christy's stance. Some Reddit users highlighted the emotional weight of the moment, noting how it shed light on the challenges Chloe faced and the lengths her mother would go to protect her. However, the incident also sparked debates about the show's environment and the psychological toll it took on both the dancers and their families. While some praised Christy for standing up against what they perceived as unfair treatment, others questioned the broader implications of such confrontations on young performers. "That's my daughter, Mom,"